What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all have had a great Father's Day. Hope you all didn't get too rained out. I tell you what, the weather today hasn't been quite as impactful as it could have been. There really wasn't a whole lot of tornadoes. There's nothing been confirmed yet. There's been a couple tornado warnings, but nothing too crazy out there right now. But as you can tell, I started out the video with a radar representation of what's going on right now. The center of what's left of Tropical Depression Claudette is right here and around in the Midlands of South Carolina. Its exact location, I'm not sure, but it is right here, and you can tell it's circulating around the low pressure. I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just north of Columbia, something like that. But it's been some pretty intense weather in certain areas of the state. I know in Wagner, South Carolina, there was a tornado warning that had a stout funnel on it. Actually, there was a picture of it that just got released on Twitter about an hour ago from just a regular, not a storm chaser, just a regular person out in the middle of nowhere. That's some country areas out there. But I also want to say thoughts and prayers. 12 people were killed in, I believe, Alabama from Claudette. 12 people, and I think 9 being children. I think there was a wreck where 10 people were killed and 9 of them being children, and some kind of wreck that was obviously influenced by the weather by Claudette. So prayers go out to them. That is something I was not expecting, and that's really terrible. It's really really sad, especially when the children are involved. I know having kids that definitely stings a lot more. But let me tell you, this line of storms, before we get going, if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. It's much appreciated. The support is amazing. Like the video if you like it. Helps the video get out there. And thank y'all for the y'all's and continued amazing support. Check out this line of storms whipping through. This is by far the most intense part of this system right now. In fact, my buddy Chris Miller got these shots from just outside of Jefferson, South Carolina, of this shelf cloud. He got some pretty awesome shots here of this, basically almost like a bow echo storm. I hope this is coming up clearly on y'all's screen. But that is a shelf cloud moving through the area up there in upstate South Carolina. And so a very photogenic storm, definitely moving through there. So we're going to begin to step away from talking about Claudette. It's going to continue to move off the coast and really actually have a chance to re-strengthen a little bit as it moves into North Carolina and moves out into open water again before it completely diminishes altogether. But one thing we're going to talk about in this video, we're going to break down the potential, just like I said, potential about 10 to 15 days prior to Claudette even forming, the potential for more tropical development down the road. It's just some things I'm looking at and checking out, and that's what we're going to break down. Really going here. Obviously, you see high pressure up here, flowed out through here. So we're going through in time. This is the date. Just look at June 22nd. So really look at here. It doesn't really matter what day it is because we're not talking about any specifics here. I want you to watch this area down here. This has a chance to pop off almost another CAG, a CAG, which is basically a bunch of energy over Central America that has a chance to develop into tropical systems. Look at this big time system and look how quickly it intensifies. And I'll get a little bit closer to that here in a second. And then it quickly turns into a low-end hurricane and then just runs right into Mexico. But what I want you to check this out right here. Check out this low pressure developing around Monday of next week. This is just one GFS run. It's nothing. It's been no kind of consistency right now. It's been showing something there the last couple days, but nothing consistent as far as the path. But as we're getting going here into next Wednesday, it actually develops a low-end hurricane and runs into the western coast of Florida. So we're already getting symbols here of more development, and then it gets going and scrapes the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. Now you go and look at the crazy 12Z run from earlier today. It is even wilder. What it does here is it takes that same energy and runs it across the Gulf of Mexico and develops it into a powerful hurricane and slams it into the coast of Texas. It's going to be all over the place. What we're really trying to look at here is the potential for more tropical development kind of in the same area that had occurred with Claudette. We're also looking out here in the MDR too, way out in the Atlantic off the coast of North Africa for some vigorous tropical waves that have a chance to develop, but I tell you what, long range, these things do not survive across the Atlantic much when you're in June and July still. But we'll continue to watch this. As far as what is the European showing, well, it's definitely showing that system down here. It's freaking fly. It's definitely showing that system down here developing and potentially strengthening very quick and then impacting Mexico. But as far as down here, it just kind of shows a lot of energy. It doesn't really show anything specific that is a powerful hurricane running into Mexico, but it doesn't really show anything. But what it does show is just a bunch of activity. It doesn't show a full-fledged tropical system like the GFS does. Now we'll get a little bit closer. So I want to show you this. How I know I don't talk about Mexico much, but look at this energy that pops off the Pacific side of Central America. Quickly organizes into some very warm water and turns into an all-out hurricane and then hits Mexico. And then there's some higher terrain, and hurricanes are absolutely shredded as soon as they hit Mexico due to higher terrain. And it's the same thing with the European model. You look at this and you go into here in time, and it develops very quickly, strengthens into a hurricane. And the European wants to just kind of ride the coast, the Pacific coast of Mexico. But as far as what the Canadian model was showing, not much. There's not really support with the Canadian, but there does show some activity down there. And at the very end of the run, you notice a little system that pops off kind of in that same bay that the beginning of Claudette formed. So we'll continue to watch this. As far as the good old EPS SpaghettiOs, there's not really much support of it on the European ensemble. There's a rogue system that looks like a powerful hurricane that runs through areas of the Bahamas and things like that. But I mean, it's just one. It's not a lot. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. So we'll continue to monitor anything developing, but the tornado threat probably at this point is going to be in this area as we get later into the evening. For this area back in here, I think it's about over. For most of South Carolina, tornado threat is over. But if you're in southeast North Carolina this evening and overnight, watch out. And when this low pressure gets over here, it's going to be a little bit of onshore flow moving into Myrtle Beach. And this has a chance to throw maybe a quick spin up around the Myrtle Beach area in the Grand Strand. So if you're vacationing around that area, definitely have a way to get alerts because it's not over. There's going to be some nasty weather moving through this entire area of South Carolina and then into North Carolina as this low pressure continues to exit this way and move on out. But that's all I got, guys. I'll keep y'all updated. We'll see if we'll end up getting another tropical system worth talking about as we round out the rest of June and get into July. So once again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed evening.